Ever think about like where the materials for your smartphone come from? Like the stuff that makes it vibrate, power those tiny speakers, even help store your photos, that kind of thing?
Turns out the answer might be buried beneath extinct volcanoes. Would you believe it?
Okay, I know that sounds a little wild, but trust me on this one. Today we're diving into some breaking news from CNN, some fascinating stuff about a scientific discovery that could completely change, I think, how we think about clean energy and all this new tech.
And to really get why this is such a big deal, we need to talk about something called rare earth elements,
Right.
right?
Now, I know that sounds a bit, intimidating, but stick with us. We've compiled a bunch of research that explains it all, and will make it make sense, even if you've never heard of them before.
Basically, rare earth elements are a group of elements, and they're like absolutely essential for all sorts of high-tech applications. Think smartphones, those electric vehicle batteries everyone's talking about, wind turbines, even those super bright LED lights you see everywhere these days.
Yeah, they're like, what's the word? The secret sauce in so many technologies we rely on every single day,
Yeah.
and the demand for them going way up, especially as we move towards a greener future.
100%. And that's where these extinct volcanoes come in, which is kind of cool when you think about it. Researchers are finding that they could be a serious source, like untapped potential for these crucial rare earth elements.
So buckle up. We're about to explore how these fiery old giants, these volcanoes, might just hold the key to a more sustainable future. Who knows? Let's dig in.
Yeah.
So this CNN article, it's saying scientists from the Australian National University, they made this like pretty amazing discovery, right?
Yeah.
They were studying these extinct volcanoes, the kind with iron-rich magma from way back millions of years ago.
Right, right.
And they found something, well, incredible, really.
Okay, yeah. So what's really interesting here is that this particular type of iron-rich magma, it seems to act like a magnet, basically, for rare earth elements. It's wild. Like, over millions of years, imagine this, these volcanoes pulling in and concentrating these super valuable elements, but from, like, the rock around them.
Okay, so it's like the volcano was this giant magnet, and it was just like drawing in all these rare earth elements from the earth around it for like eons.
Exactly. And get this, the really wild part is how efficient this iron-rich magma is. Like, way more than we thought.
Real?
It's something like, get this, 200 times more effective at concentrating these rare earths than your average volcano.
200 times.
Oh,
Are
yeah.
you serious? That's like, I don't even know, that's like finding out your grandma's secret cookie recipe actually makes 200 times the cookies.
Haha, yeah, something like that.
You'd be like giving those out to everyone.
It's a big deal, this discovery, it really is. And it gets better because it's not just limited to this one place, right? This is about extinct volcanoes all over the world. I mean, there could be some of these geological wonders like right near you, you never know.
So you're saying we could be like sitting on a potential gold mine of these elements
Yeah.
right in our own backyards. That's pretty mind-blowing when you think about it. But okay, hold on. Before we get too ahead of ourselves, I have to admit, before this whole, deep dive thing, I didn't really know much about these rare earth elements. They sound kind of, well, rare,
Well, they are, that's the thing.
but they're obviously important, right?
100%, yeah, essential actually for so many technologies we depend on.
Okay, so break it down for us. What exactly are these rare earth elements, and why should we care?
So when we say rare earth elements, what we're really talking about is it's a group, 17 elements actually.
Okay.
And they have kind of complicated names like lanthanum, neodymium, dysprosium.
Okay, I get you, haha.
But anyway, what makes them so special, it's that even though there are only these tiny amounts of them, right, they have this incredible ability to just like supercharge the performance of all sorts of technology. I mean, look at neodymium, for example.
Neodymium, yeah, that rings a bell. Isn't that in like those super strong magnets, the ones that are always, bingo, you got it.
Okay, wow.
Neodymium magnets, they're some of the strongest permanent magnets in the world. And you know what uses those? That smartphone in your pocket.
Seriously, I mean, what are they even doing in there?
Well, okay, for one thing, they're in the speaker. They create that strong magnetic field, and that allows the speaker, even though it's tiny, to produce that clear, loud sound.
Yeah.
And they're what makes your phone vibrate. Oh, and they help focus the camera lens, too.
I never knew that, all those things. Wow. See. And it's not just your phone, they're in everything. Electric car batteries, wind turbines, the list goes on. Medical imaging, those energy-efficient LED light bulbs everyone's putting in their house, all of them depend on these elements.
So they're kind of like the unsung heroes of the tech world, just like quietly making everything work better, more efficiently.
Exactly. And as we move toward a more, sustainable future, the demand for these rare earth elements, it's only going to increase, which is why this whole extinct volcano thing is so, so huge.
I see what you mean. So, okay, let's say these extinct volcanoes, they do have all these rare earth elements, like we
Yep.
think. That solves a lot of problems. I mean, we wouldn't need to rely on the traditional mining as much, would we?
Right, 100%. Finding these new sources, like these volcanoes, it's a potential game changer, no question. But it's not as easy as, just digging them up.
Yeah, there are always challenges with these things. So what are we talking about? What kind of hurdles? So you're saying we could have this gold mine, basically, of rare earth elements, but it's not like we can just go out and, I don't know, scoop them up, right?
Yeah, not quite that easy. There are definitely some challenges. Like, we need to figure out how to actually get these elements out. And that might not be so simple or cheap for that matter.
So it's not like they're just sitting there in a big pile ready to go.
If only. We're talking new mining techniques. We might have to deal with deposits that are super deep or in these, like, crazy rock formations. It'll take some serious brain power for sure and careful planning so we can extract everything responsibly.
And I'm guessing, like, the environmental impact, that's a big thing too, right? Don't want to create a new problem while solving another.
For sure, for sure. Anytime you're talking about mining, especially on this scale, got to think about the environment first. We need to figure out what it might do to the ecosystems around there, make sure any waste is dealt with properly and trying to minimize any negative effects, obviously.
A real balancing act, I guess. Finding these resources, but also, like, protecting the planet at the same time.
100%. And that's what's so cool about this discovery, right? It's not just about finding more rare earth elements. It's about finding better ways to get the stuff we need for a sustainable future, which is what we all want.
This has been, wow, quite the deep dive. Really makes you think. What's, like, the biggest takeaway for you from all this?
I think for me, it's that connection, like we're talking about these ancient volcanoes. They've just been there forever, and now they could totally change modern tech and like lead us to a cleaner future. Pretty awesome.
It's a good reminder that solutions can pop up in the most random places and that, we need to stay creative if we want to build that world we all want to live in.
Makes you wonder what other surprises are out there. What else is waiting to be discovered, right? Maybe even more solutions for our energy needs, just hiding in plain sight. And hey, if you're as fascinated by all this as we are, we've put together some links for you, articles about rare earth elements and this whole volcano thing. Check them out in the show notes.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Always a pleasure.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep those brains buzzing.